So just be easy about it. Don't focus on it so much. Just kind of leave it to the universe.
Make peace with what is. Make peace with what is. We would say, everything in my world is perfect because what's surrounding me is a perfect replication or indication of what I'm doing vibrationally. And how else will I know how I'm doing vibrationally? And look at all the evidence of how well I'm doing vibrationally. Somehow, something has gotten stuck in almost all of your craws that goes like this. I'm supposed to achieve perfection, which means I should keep looking for imperfection and solve it when I see it. So you can be standing in the most extraordinary space where the majority of it is fabulous, and it is a sort of human tendency to find a flaw and fixate on it. Now, the reason that you have that tendency is because you were born to sift, but you were not born to make a career out of resistance. You were born to select from the buffet the things that you prefer. So yes, we think that you have said the perfect thing. I've been trying too hard, and that's why we've been making such a mockery out of our very own cards, because if you try too hard, it backfires. Because there is no pushing what you don't want away. You see, every subject is really two subjects. When you pick up the stick that says abundance, there's abundance on one end and lack of it on another. When you pick up the stick called clarity, there's clarity on one end of it and confusion on the other. So when you approach a subject, it begins to vibrate within you wherever you've practiced most. So what we're suggesting is just leave the subjects out of the equation for a while and just decide that you're just going to vibrate on a good feeling end of the stick no matter what, which means you're going to start with subjects that it's really easy for you to feel good when you focus upon them and just sort of use them. We've been offering a game that some think is silly and inane and others are finding benefit from. We've been saying it's an alphabet game where you start with the letter A and find an in the vortex word that starts with A. Now someone said abundance, and we said, well, that depends. The abundance is not really the perfect word for this game if you're worried about money. Appreciation is a better word. So appreciation. B, what's a good B word? Basking. Someone said belief. We said, well, belief might not be the best word because you might believe in cancer. Or you might not believe that you can get what you want. So, but basking is a more surefire in the vortex B word. C, confidence. Well, that might be a good word, but you might be insecure. So when you say the word confidence, it might activate an out of the vortex vibration for you, where you say clarity, that might work better for you, or cool. In other words, it's for you to choose just a word that when you say it feels resistant free. D, a D word, delicious. Desire is a pretty good one, unless you've got some desires that you've had for a while that haven't come to fruition. Then desire might throw you out of the door. See what we're getting at? E, Esther says energy. Ease, she loved the word ease. Ease was the best E word. Ease. And then fun or flow. In other words, and so going through the alphabet was a really good game because it took concentration. It's not something that you can do without thinking. And to find the word that feels the best. So the longer you play the game and the more you go through the alphabet, the more inside the vortex you feel, and then the easier it is to find other words that match it. You see what we're getting at? Now you could do a crossword puzzle. You could play a computer game. There are lots of things that you could do that would distract you from something that's bothering you. But what we're getting at, especially these days, is the vortex is real, and who you really are is really in it, along with everything you really want, and it's calling you. And if you can do anything in your power to stop beating the drum that's holding you out, you'll go in. That's the easiest way of explaining this. Your grandmother, who demonstrated joy under all conditions or under most conditions, was the best teacher you ever had. Your animals, your cats and dogs and those animals that are around you, who don't worry about death, who don't hold a grudge, who aren't jealous. And your domesticated animals begin to act a little more like you, but the beasts in the wild... In other words, there's all kinds of evidence of the well-being that surrounds you. And as you leave here today with a newfound personal determination to be in the vortex one way or another. I'll bask my way before I go to sleep. I'll appreciate as best I can. I'll milk it when I blunder in. I'll play the ABC game just to monopolize my mind and keep me from picking up any out of the vortex thoughts. I care about being in the vortex first and foremost. And at first, it will feel sort of like work. But the work that you apply in thinking and feeling and guiding your thoughts will pay you back in spades, because the leverage of being in the vortex will give you back so much time and so much cooperation that you'll wonder why you left it as the last ditch effort.
I had one